Most people don't know that a lot of churches are in the real estate investment game, and they didn't used to be. Here's how they got in it. Well, quite simply, they lost their full-time clergy, their pastor, their reverend, whatever they call them. Those used to be full-time positions, and the convention in churches is that those people and their family are given housing that's provided by the church. So we know these as parsonages or rectories or things like that. So you'll see a church with a house, maybe even a couple houses that are owned by the church on adjacent parcels of property. And sometimes the church in previous years bought these things to control the neighborhood, bought these things to provide different sorts of programs and things that they did. But we all know that church attendance has gone down and churches have less resources than ever. And so what they need to do, because they have expenses that are rising and they have less revenue than ever, is to utilize that real estate. So if you talk to your church, they very likely have some real estate that they're renting either on a commercial or a residential basis to people. And these people are the council of trustees that are running the church. So most churches have a council of people who they go to for the decisions, kind of like a board of directors. Well, these are congregants. These are people who are very passionate about the church's mission and want to participate in the church's success. What they are not often is savvy business people, and they're certainly not real estate investors. And I say that the worst landlords for a property is a church. These are great people who do not understand risk and return and how this works. So I often work with churches when they get to their breaking point. When they get to their breaking point with a tenant situation that they simply can't handle, or they've just had enough. And truly, they're often not allowed to sell these properties. So these churches are governed by councils or conferences, and they truly own the real estate. And so far, we have not seen churches divesting in a lot of real estate, at least from what I've seen. So churches need to be looking for professional property managers to make sure that their real estate's being properly cared for and that their leases are being enforced and that they don't lose their shirt on this, because truly it's not worth the little bit of rent they get for all the risk that they incur unless they're doing it properly.